Welcome back to Let's Talk Entertainment. If you've not subscribed to our channel, please take a moment to do that right now. In a few minutes, we are going to discuss a little bit of an addendum on the news we discussed last week about a potential Call of Cthulhu film adaptation by James Wan. The question being posed is, will a successful adaptation of Call of Cthulhu help revive Guillermo del Toro's long discussed, delayed At the Mountains of Madness, which is a story that I like much better than the Call of Cthulhu. But before we get there, a few things to discuss. We are trying to get to 5,000 subscribers by the end of 2024, and we need your help to get there. You can subscribe, hit the alert bell. Also helps if you like all of our videos, comment on them, keep those comments positive and constructive, and you'll get positive and constructive feedback. Occasionally format some of those comments in the form of super thanks, which, spend a few dollars our way. That'd be helpful. Also, you could become a member for $2.99 per month. But onto that news. If the Call of Cthulhu is a big success, could Guillermo del Toro's Mountains of Madness finally happen? A successful adaptation of the Call of Cthulhu could lead to future H.P. Lovecraft adaptations. Scrolling back up to the top here quickly before I continue. Where is it? Although the details surrounding James Wan's H.P. Lovecraft movie are scarce, its success could lead to a revival of an abandoned 2010 idea. The Mountains of Madness potential adaptation by Guillermo del Toro has been talked about for a long time. I think it's been very anticipated by fans, but I think he lost interest in it a number of years ago. Although there are no guarantees regarding the future of H.P. Lovecraft's movie adaptations, the success of Wan's The Call of Cthulhu has the potential to spawn a franchise similar to Wan's The Conjuring and Insidious movies. While the first entries in both movies were solid standalone movies, their box office success and popularity among the audience set the stage for Wan to develop full fleshed-out universes around the prospective projects. Hollywood's greatest interest is in the franchise potential, as seen by the interviews taking on various franchises. So if Wan's The Call of Cthulhu performs well at the global box office, there's a strong chance that audiences will see more adaptations. If the Call of Cthulhu's movie adaptation is successful, or at the very least performs well at the box office, viewers might see the writer's work expanded in the form of new TV series as well. Despite the cancellation of HBO's Lovecraft Country, the modern take on Lovecraft's 1928 novel generated enough interest that it made viewers scratch their heads when it was suddenly disappeared. All right, so going back a number of years, it was discussed the idea that Guillermo del Toro wanted to do an At the Mountains of Madness adaptation. Inevitably, it didn't happen. He talked about, I remember at one point saying there were some other films that were sort of similar that sort of turned him off. I'm not sure which ones it was. The one Alien versus Predator film was a little bit like that. But needless to say, a film such as At the Mountains of Madness is going to require a very deft touch, and I would very much trust Guillermo del Toro with such a project. However, making a connection between the Call of Cthulhu project by Wan and his companies with this, I'm thinking unlikely. While one may spur the other, I don't see Guillermo del Toro at this point in his career, even if he does decide to go back to Lovecraft, I don't see him necessarily joining somebody else's universe. I think that he's too much of an auteur at this point. And, he tried to get on board with The Hobbit. That fell through. I'm thinking if it happens at all, it's going to be a project developed fully by him under his control. However, I do think that James Wan's project will be important. A few years ago, we had the Color Out of Space, sort of a small indie type film, and they were going to do the Dunwich Horror after that and some other ones, and that sort of never materialized, despite, I think that movie was pretty well received. But with James Wan's attachment to this film, it is a crucial moment, I think, for Lovecraft in the mainstream. He's big enough exposure that it has the potential to fully open Lovecraft's work to a wider world. And that very well could maybe loosen up some wallets in Hollywood and possibly send some money Guillermo del Toro's way. However, I think more likely, if the film does well and they don't spend too much, so it doesn't have to have a huge box office return, Juan himself could, in fact, continue to do other projects. Hopefully not at the Mountains of Madness next. I think that's a big epic project. Do something smaller. There's plenty of smaller Lovecraft stories that you could work with that probably be more in his wheelhouse than sort of the expansive Antarctica setting of that film. But there you have it. What do you think? Is this something that's going to happen? Will the Call of Cthulhu be the spark that ignites the Lovecraft universe in mainstream Hollywood? Let me know in the comments. Until next time, keep it creepy.